Was Mark coming in, or do you know? Mark or the group?
I know that Sandy Harner's still doing the stuff because Nugget was out for
There they
Hey
are.
Sandy, how we doing?
All right.
3 years.
All right, I will get us back started for the afternoon session, and I'm going to take us into the Lincoln County Ambulance District. We'll start with minutes and claims. You want to get claims?
We were just asking too, is Mark coming?
Yeah,
Okay,
I was just sitting at the station when I headed this way.
okay.
I think he was pretty close behind me.
Okay, you guys need a new folder.
Your folders get rolled out.
Buck up for a new folder.
Those red ones.
We can get you a plastic red one,
That'd be a good idea.
That would be great.
but you have to come get it.
Okay.
Okay.
I can do that.
Sandy, before I forget, the ambulance district and their spouses are invited to a appreciation dinner luncheon from 1 to 1:30 on the 25th.
12 to 1:30.
What did I say?
1 to 1:30. 12 to
Oh.
1:30.
We're
12
giving you a
to
half
1:30,
hour to come.
Eat
and
fast.
run. Yeah.
From 12 to 1:30
Okay.
on the 25th of February at the community center.
25th.
We better call them, make sure we got a room.
Oh, yeah.
I can call right now.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
could call right now. Thank you.
While you've got him on the phone, ask him if I can have a morning room for an hour on the 23rd for a Department of Commerce meeting.
So just the conference room?
Yeah. At 10 a.m. on the 23rd.
I'll send out an email.
That would be awesome. No,
Hey, Mark.
last time we had white elephants, we're not going to do the white elephants.
So is this the one that got postponed?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just going to pick out chat.
That works.
Yeah.
Are we?
Prime rib.
Might as
Yeah.
well.
25th. Be here or be
Everything?
square. He does not feel well.
Oh.
Yeah?
February 25th.
Mhm.
Appreciation luncheon.
Okay.
Community center.
Noon to 1:30.
Okay.
Spouses welcome. As well as,
Or your plus one.
or your plus one, or
That's
whatever.
politically correct.
Does not include the dog, sorry.
No dogs.
I'm gonna go to the little boys' room. Have we got a second?
Go ahead. We're doing claims and minutes.
I've had so much coffee today. It's
And this room is not the place for that. No bathroom.
right.
So is the ambulance going to be included, or are they going to be hooked up to Wi-Fi?
Mhm.
Or no?
Mhm. I put them on the list.
Where would the community center be busy? They have multiple lines, don't they?
I think they have at least 3.
Yeah.
Or she's just gearing up, maybe it's taking some of them. Same building, I don't know.
Do you guys have a phone list on your desk? It is 886-2406, right?
I need to hang one on the wall here
Right here.
so that we can see it because I always have to try to find it. Be nice if it
Community
was just
Center,
taped.
886-2406.
That's what I'm dialing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's Valentine's Day. That means I better do something. Huh?
Yeah, Chuck's gone, so he called me last night.
You got off.
What are you going to do for Valentine's Day? And I said,
Oh,
gee, I don't know.
Watch your own movie.
The conference room available at 10 o'clock
Maybe I'll go to
on
the
the
bar.
23rd for Rebecca.
Go out to dinner. Fuck.
In the conference room.
Ja-
So Glanbia's in there all week, next week, I mean. Yeah. Oh, the job fair is that day too.
Yeah, but it's 5 to 7 at night.
Yeah.
I just need a spot for like an hour in the morning.
Yeah, she just needs an hour in the morning around 10 o'clock on the 23rd.
Payson won't care if we're in the job fair space. It's just gonna be the Department of Commerce.
Okay, and then, for the 25th, the Friday, can we have is Glanbia using the conference room that day too? Or not the conference, but the,
Ingram.
Glanbia's got the thing all week
In the big one or both?
in the big both.
In both? Okay.
Now where are we gonna hold it?
Here.
Where?
No, there's a conference room over there at the
Probation?
probation.
Let's do it at probation.
Well, okay, so we're gonna take it to the probation conference room then. Well, on that, cause you can't do anything about Glanbia, they've already booked everything, and they're paying customers.
Yep.
So,
Okay,
yeah,
I will make a
just let
motion
Rebecca know on the
to
23rd
pay
if
the accounts
she's got
payable for the
anything.
ambulance district in the amount of $9,028.28.
If nothing, just let us know.
28 cents.
28 cents.
I'll second that. We have a motion and second to pay the ambulance claim in the amount of $9,088.28. Any questions or concerns on those?
None here.
Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Yes, motion passes. They were okay at 10 o'clock on the 23rd for now?
No, she's gonna see what she can find out, and I said, just let me know.
I could probably just go in some space.
And, well, that's just it. The conference room is it would be available for that one too, at probation. But anyway, she's gonna try and figure it out. Get back to you.
Kidney work. Are we official? Are we in?
Yeah, we're in. We just
Okay.
did your claims and you weren't here to vote.
Oh,
You
didn't
missed
get to
it.
raise your
Did it
hand.
pass?
Passed.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank goodness. Have you got a fire line budget? Fire budget line?
You're talking about the wildlife?
One of these days, I'm gonna look at this thing and the disallowed is not going to be as much as our payments.
On the fund.
How much is in it?
That's never gonna happen.
That'll
No,
never
it
happen,
better
right?
turn
That would never happen, but I always hope it's
I
gonna
haven't
happen.
had a chance
As I
to
read
refresh
the-
on it.
Write-off allowance, $51,000 and $51,500.
No, it never happens, but every time I hope that it's not going to be so huge. It's Dreamer, can you tell? Dreamer.
Right.
Alright, I will make a motion to accept the ambulance district meeting minutes, January 10th, 2022.
There's two there.
Oh, there is, and January 18th, 2022.
I'll second that. We have motion second to accept the ambulance meeting minutes from the 10th and the 18th. All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Yes. Motion passes. Okay, also we have the truck
You got two?
lease that, as I understand it, because our Kim's is ending, we're gonna have to start picking up this lease payment. However, they rewrote it so that at the end of the time, we're gonna have a lower payoff. Is that what it was, or was it gonna be the same payment? Explain to us.
Yeah, we can build it however we want. Essentially, what I sent you there was just an option, and I don't remember exactly what I sent you, but essentially something to the effect of we can make payments on it 3 more years, and I think then that would pay the lease off. We could buy it for $1, or we could pay on it a couple of more years and then buy it like 8,000 something. There are options.
So this is a 3-year lease. The payment $312 a month, which is the same as what we're paying now.
Mm-hmm.
The buyout price at the end of the 3 years would be $8,000.
Okay, there's that.
Or you could sell the vehicle and then they send you the money that they made over the residential, or how do you say that? Residual.
Mhm.
Compared to your current lease, your payoff amount at the end is currently $16,900 at your current term. In essence, I've been able to keep you at your current payment and cut the payment in half, allowing for a more economical buyout if you choose.
And who's this through?
Our leasing company.
Commercial Fleet Leasing, Government Leasing Specialist, Mike Peterson,
Oh, that's somebody else.
Yeah, it's,
Bancorp.
Bancorp. Yeah.
Okay, because Hinkle is who we're with right now.
Well, Hinkley's sold out.
They sold out, so everything
Oh,
had to
okay.
get moved over.
That's
So
why we
this is
haven't
pretty
gotten
good
the
because it was a $16,900 buyout at the end of 3 more years, and now it's an $8,000 buyout,
Taking it over.
and it's in perfect shape.
I was just gonna say, this is an ambulance, right?
No, it's a
truck.
Oh, it's a truck,
Yeah.
It's in wonderful shape.
Yes.
and we can't get trucks anymore.
Yeah.
It's a truck?
A little one.
Oh, a
It's
King
a Nissan
Cat.
Titan.
Okay,
Extended cab, king cat.
and what
4
is it?
doors, but not big, not 4 big doors. The
It's a club cab?
yeah,
Quad or club?
quad club.
The
Whatever.
little doors,
Yeah.
back.
So what do we use it for?
We use it for chems things. We use it for single resource, like if somebody goes to the rodeo or whatever, they don't need an ambulance. They'll take the truck.
Oh,
I use it when I'm down here.
He chases the ambulance
I
with it.
chase the ambulance in it. It's a good. Jimmy's trying to get me to let him take it to fires, and I will not let him take it to fires.
It does work well though if we have fairly local conferences, that kind of stuff, for 2 or 3 people to go together. You know, save on some
And once the
training.
chems grant runs out
In July, right?
in July, we're going to start over the next couple of months trialing having those who have been through the chems class while they're on duty go see patients. Not for like
Community outreach.
not for that first initial visit that takes like an hour or so. Established chems patients that we need to spend 15-20 minutes with. We're going to start trying that. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but we've got to do
I
something.
don't know
to
why
keep it
not.
up.
It sounds good to me.
I don't like the idea. Even though the patients will know that they're on duty. We're on duty. We may have to go. Hey, how you doing? How's everything? Oh, I gotta go. And I don't like that, but it's okay.
I think that they will understand that.
I think
fine.
they will too.
Can always come back later.
Right. And so we probably may start using that truck a lot more for chems, how I envisioned it in the beginning. The playbook, if you will, is not to take an ambulance to somebody's house to do a chems visit because there's an ambulance sitting in
Right.
front of somebody's house.
it's probably more
start
expensive.
And people
too.
start calling and what's happening and everything else. At least the truck is a little bit subdued. I mean, yes, it says Lincoln County Ambulance or Lincoln County EMS on it.
But it's not an ambulance. So.
And we were talking about it this morning. If there's a chems patient in Ridgefield and Chad or Sandy's on duty, I don't know that I'd have a problem with somebody taking the truck to Ridgefield to see a chems patient, leave the other partner here in town, and if there's a call, somebody go to the call, bring the and then we still have somebody local, if you will, or in the middle of the county to at least first respond while the chems person is coming back from somebody's house.
So how many do you have? If you have 3, you have 3 people on, or just 2?
2.
Because if the ambulance call requires 2 people,
Right.
you're gonna have to leave the truck there.
Well, yes,
They would just come back with the truck.
Yeah, somebody drive the truck to somebody's house, then they'd be partnered up again, run the call, take them to the hospital, come back and get the truck. Yeah. And I've always been okay with that. Whether somebody's going to the store or whatever, hey, if you're right on top of a call, take the truck and go first respond, kind of thing. But
That's what I've been doing for the classes on Friday since I've been working all the time. I just take the truck to the senior center and my partner stays back
For the little, and they love that, by the way. I've got nothing but great reports on that. They love that class.
wonderful. So long story short, the truck is an excellent resource. We don't drive it a ton and it's still got low miles on it. So it's a good resource. It's good to have.
10,000
But it's,
miles. Yeah, that's not bad.
but that's however we want to restructure it. If you do it all or buy it out at the end of it or whatever, you tell me my opinion and that's what we'll do.
So you can just continue with this contract and buy it out at the end of,
3 years.
which is, okay, and for $8,000, or what did you just say?
Or they sell it and then they just pay off what's left on it and give you anything that's left.
Oh.
Which is just your typical lease that's happened
Yeah.
before. And we've got some small checks, like $2,000 or $3,000 on ones that we've turned in for lease before at the end from sheriff trucks. This one is such low mileage and in such great shape that, to me, unless something weird happened, I would think we'd want to buy it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I think so. But where have you heard this before? It's not my money.
Yeah,
It's
But we don't have to make that decision until until the end of 3 years.
yeah.
It's the same lease payment as we've been paying. We'd like to keep the truck.
Yeah.
We have use for it.
Yeah.
We
But
are,
But if for some reason you're like, well, hey, Mark, check into paying it for 2 years and see what the payoff is, I'll do that. That's what I mean.
mhm.
There are options, and it's
Yeah.
you give me marching orders, and that's what I'll do. But that's not a bad deal.
No, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And that way we have all our leases under one company, which is easier for accounting purposes.
Mhm.
What do you think?
We didn't even know it existed
I think
until
we ought to buy it out.
I got an email from
At
Mike
the end of
Albright.
the year, just leave it the same.
Okay, let's make a motion on that.
All right, I will make a motion to keep the open-end lease schedule with Bancorp for the 2017 Nissan Titan SV King Cab 4-wheel drive for the ambulance district. Base payment is $312 a month, and looks like at the end of 3 years you could pay it or buy it outright for $8,000.
Okay, I will second that motion. We have a motion and a second on the Titan lease. All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Everybody agrees. Yay.
Yeah, when we got that new, by the way, and I was
Yeah, it's brand new.
in negotiations for like a Nissan Frontier, a smaller one, and the guy from Hinckley at the time called me and said, "Hey, for a little bit less money, do you want a bigger truck?"
Let me
I
think
went,
about that.
well, I don't know. I mean, yeah. What do you got?
It gets pretty good gas mileage, doesn't it?
It does okay. I mean, again, not that we're not pulling anything with it or anything like that. We don't run it.
I don't know what you need exactly on here, so you want to take that?
I can. Yeah. So I have obviously then permission to go ahead and call them back and say, here's what we'll do.
And just CC me on that so we know what's going on.
Okay.
Make sure she gets a copy of your final.
Yeah. That's what we'll do. 3 years and then-
Sick bank donation. We have a couple of requests. One is for. These are just donations. Sorry.
Donations, yeah.
These are just donations. One is for 40 hours. Both is for 40 hours to our sick bank. Very nice.
We know that Nugget's gonna be coming up, but I've looked into hers and she has enough leave and sick leave left at the end of this next pay period to cover her what she's gonna be gone. But then she's gonna be completely without, and that's when the request from her will come in.
Thank you.
Can we say who that is?
No.
No.
We can use
Just
a
thought I-
nickname.
Okay. So I make a motion on this.
Yeah, just to approve the.
To approve the donation.
I will make a motion to approve the employee sick donation, sick time donation form from 2 folks for $40.
40 hours.
40 hours. Okay. 40 hours each would be a total of $80 or 80 hours.
She's only thinking in money today.
Yeah.
I'll second that. I have a motion and a second to approve 80 hours donation to our sick bank. All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Yes. Motion passes.
All right. Just vote for everything.
Do you want these just in the green folder?
Yes, because those will go to
Yes.
You have this back.
operations update.
Doing well.
That's good.
Yeah.
Anything exciting?
No.
That's good too, actually, for the ambulance district.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Jimmy's getting some fire equipment. As a matter of fact, Chad picks them up today. I'm contemplating the upcoming needs, personnel needs, not only for fire season, but like one of our EMTs got on full time with Magic Valley Paramedics. That's a great thing. He was working PRN for us. Chad has told me June or July of next year he and his family probably moving south. You know, so I'm in a situation where I'd like to get more staff, but it bugs me that they may or may not get very much opportunity, like very many hours, days to work, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I want people to be, especially the new students coming out of, you know, I mean, I want to help them, and I will, but I also don't want them to be stagnant either.
Right,
You know,
where they're not working very
Yeah.
often.
Yeah, we will need help, and we do need help, but it's not regular, you know. So I'll probably end up putting couple of more folks on staff and try to get our PRNs working so that when fire season comes, Chad leaves, whatever the case may be,
They're trained up.
we've got some folks that are comfortable with what they're doing, you know. So it's not an immediate thing, but it's in my head,
Okay.
you know. Kim's is up in June,
June 30th.
the June 30th. So we're already strategizing about the patients that we will see out of the clinic, because we won't have the stipulations like grant stipulations, you know.
Right.
And then, like I say, we're going to start playing with the idea of those folks that are trained up in Kim's, which is darn near everybody now that the class is over. Seeing their follow-up patients while on duty, and just see how that works. So
Nice.
So how will that work, since there won't be any more grant funds, then that paperwork will go away?
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
and
Not good that it go away, good that I don't have something to
Yep. it'll
track another thing.
it'll all go away. Folks that do Kim's calls on duty, they're just on duty, you know. So unfortunately, that goes away too. But
That was my next question.
yeah,
So what you're gonna, that's why you wanna try to incorporate it while they're on duty so that
They'll have the extra pay.
extra
Yeah.
pay, yeah.
and then even if somebody needs to go off duty to do that initial hour-long thing, the Kim's pay, that hourly rate probably won't be there. It'll just be normal time or overtime, whatever somebody's on, because it's just how we'll have to bring it in. But
So you have from now until June 30th to figure out how it's gonna look on payrolls, because
yeah,
right now there's that CAMS line for that.
mm-hmm.
And if that goes away, do we rename it? And then pay out of that? Because right now the CAMS fund is being reimbursed.
Yeah.
And if it's not gonna be reimbursable, then the county needs to take effect, because that's when they're gonna be working on budgets too.
Yep.
I guess not they, now it's me too.
Now too, and
Oops.
You're
and that's why he's going to try to do most of it on duty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there will be
But
probably
if you still want to try to track
Track
the
that.
hours, we could rename
Right.
that line, not to be CAMS, but to be something different, so that if he
Mm.
wants to know how many hours are we still doing it
Outpatient or
out,
something.
yeah.
and you read my mind, because that's exactly what I kind of had in mind of calling it something different. Somebody will get their normal hourly rate or in overtime rate, whatever, in wherever they're at in their week,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, so that we can pull that
Separate it
thing.
to see how much hours.
That's exactly what I had in mind. So
Well, we'll have to do that.
Yeah,
There's some people that are experimenting with filling out some of those kind of services right now,
yeah, but it's still not there.
but they're trying it. So
Yeah, we wouldn't do enough of the right kind of patient
Right.
meaning that patient qualifies for this and this and this and this, all within Medicare, Medicaid, Blue Cross,
see.
Blue Shield, and I don't. Not that it couldn't change in the future, but probably what we'll get into a lot of soon is what's called transition of care. Somebody is in the hospital for whatever reason. They come home, and they're a clinic patient.
Right.
Especially, we'll take anybody, but especially a clinic patient. You're discharged today, right? And you make it home today with an oxygen generator, new medications, crutches, a splint. I don't care what it is. It would be our goal to come and see you tomorrow.
I think that would be a fantastic idea. I just,
And
Could you
Stephanie
build the
likes it.
insurance for that?
well, that's what we're discussing.
That's what that's maybe with some help through the clinic and billing that way. Maybe. Just depends on what you do and why you're there and all that. Whether the patient thinks they need anything or not. We've already ran into a patient that got literally released from the hospital. We all wish we could have been there that next day to explain some new medication and how you take it and check up on them and do all that sort of business, and it would have been better. Let's put it that way. So obviously Steph and everybody
Well,
at
if
the
it's
clinic.
the same patient I'm thinking of, it would have been a lot better because
It
they
would've been.
didn't make it.
I wasn't going there, but you can.
So something
so, yeah.
like that would have benefited Joanne and I too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
It'll benefit.
I
It'll
screwed up
Your
benefit.
mind isn't right.
Right.
Sometimes when
I'm
you go to the
not the same
hospital.
way.
It'll benefit
Well, and
anybody.
sometimes your caregivers don't have a clue on what they're supposed to be doing or watching for.
Yeah.
So.
And patients, when they get released from hospital, they're coached on, especially if there are new medications, or here's how you put this brace on your knee. You just had knee surgery, and don't do this for 24. You're coached on all that, but invariably, a patient and their family just want the heck out of the
Yeah, that's
hospital,
what I'm
and they don't
saying, you're
retain
not-
that.
Yeah, they're not listening very well.
Especially, and I don't mean this bad, especially if they're not medical people,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you just don't retain it.
Yeah.
So if we can come along the next day, 2 days at the most, and sit down with you and go, okay, yeah, do you know how to put this brace on? Do you know what this new medication is and how often you take it and what the
Plus-
side effects are and blah, blah, blah.
There's just things that a medical person's going to spot happening
Mm-hmm.
that nobody else will and be able to
Yeah.
say, ooh, we
Yep.
got to get you back to the hospital.
Yeah. Or, I mean, there's an umbrella, but again, like
Yeah.
hip surgery, knee surgery, whatever. Sandy walks in and there's a rug and a rug.
That's
and
just
a
what I was thinking.
And all of a sudden, we've done this nice little follow-up to go, by the way, now if you were in for pneumonia and you're 40 years old and you're doing fine, we don't need to do a fall risk assessment. But maybe we would. You know what I mean? It could be, not having the stipulations with the grant, we can be far more fluid.
Right.
We could have anyway, but we can really start being far more fluid. And I'm a big fan of that transition of care to because here in my other worlds, whatever, you within 2 or 3 days, if a patient and a family is really not up on what they're supposed to be doing, even the little breathing thing, the breathing game, right? You blow the ping pong ball. Are you doing that? Let me help you do that a couple of times. It's just the little things that keep people from sliding backwards.
Yeah.
And if we're there the first day and then maybe a time or two the next couple of weeks, no doubt in my mind that we'll make better progress.
When did you tell me Nugget was going to be back?
Hopefully, 6 weeks out on limb duty before she'll be back on the truck. 6 weeks.
No, I mean, but just back in general.
Hopefully next week.
Yeah, week and a half ish.
Week and a half-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, sometime in the middle of the March, you guys want to come up and do some ambulance stuff with the first aid stuff with the kids?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have my girl call you. Okay.
Okay.
And you know how they'll get there? That Nissan truck.
I was just going to say, you can just bring the truck.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll probably need you twice because one day you'll do the teen association and then one day for the smaller kids.
let us know earlier the better.
Because the teen association is really excited about it. So we have a couple of them that really want to have you come out. So
Very nice.
and they just thrive on the hands-on, kind of outside, learn about future stuff.
Are they? This is just like in general, not like medical explorers or whatever. Or some of them thinking about going in the medical field?
Yes.
Okay.
And these are from 12 to 17 in the teen association.
Huh.
So 6th grade and up. And then the little guys, of course, would be your kindergarten to 5th graders.
Let me know when you want to do the teen association thing.
Okay.
I may have a trick up my sleeve.
Okay, because they're really excited about having you guys come out. So.
Would they be excited to have a helicopter come land?
Oh my God. Yes.
I would be excited for that.
I would be excited for that.
I had that experience, and it depends on.
On
Depends on
circumstances.
yeah, circumstances.
No, they would be super excited.
Yeah, that would
Okay.
be cool.
Let me know the date that you want to do that.
Maybe you better let me know the date I want to do that if we're going to be fancy like that.
That's not how it works. You got. I mean.
Maybe I should give you some options.
You pick a
Yeah.
day and then
Yeah,
we can.
you've got to pick the day, and then I can go. Can
Oh,
we
okay.
have the helicopter?
Okay.
Can we wrap that up with a partial scholarship so they'll come back to Lincoln County and work in Lincoln County?
And one of my little youth coaches is, I've kind of messed myself up because I push these youngsters that have been helping the youngsters, I call them youngsters, but they're mid-20s, to get some more education. So what happens to me is they go do it and then I lose them. But CSI is so great to work with. They've been hooking up with like Job Corps and finding ways for them to go to school with no money.
Oh.
Right? And so, of course, then, they go to school. And so that kind of hurts me. But I want them to be able to come back later with to wherever in Lincoln County with their certificate. So one of our little gals is going into the MT course. So.
Yeah.
Very cool.
When?
Well, she's starting in March because I have her. She's doing her basics or generals right now, but I'm not sure exactly what day. But she told me the start of March. Then she goes into her full-time classes for EMT. So.
You need to send me her name.
Doesn't make sense.
Does make sense?
No, does not make sense. EMT class, unless there's a special.
Oh wait, maybe
workforce.
she has to do the CNA first and then the EMT.
Okay, EMT will start next fall then.
Okay, I think she had to do the CNA to be eligible or something. No, I don't know. I'll find
She may
out.
be going into nursing or something.
It's definitely a medical program. So.
Because the EMT basic class is going around now. It started in January. Because that's the one I'm teaching the lab for a couple times a week. But
Is it every day or is it a couple times a week?
lab is once a week, and the courses aren't every day. But if
Because she's
they're-
already going to something, but then in March starts something more hours. So.
Right back around with her, and if it's the EMT class she's in, I need to know her name.
Okay.
And she needs to know mine.
I'll make sure that happens.
Okay.
But anyway, things like that are happening where we're getting more education for our people because CSI is so willing to work with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Do you have any other events coming up there?
Yes, we have a next step event would be great for you guys. We've got some of the colleges coming up, giving out information. So I'll get you the date and time on that. We've got a next step program
Excellent.
coming up.
Do you know about the job fair?
I've seen you post about it.
Yeah.
No,
So Payson is with the chamber is having a job
It's this
fair.
weekend, isn't it?
No, it's the 23rd.
23rd, 5 to 7 p.m. in the community building. And that might be a good presence place to talk to Payson.
Mm-hmm. Mason, if you're listening.
Nobody's listening today because we couldn't go live.
Oh, we're not live.
We're
Okay.
recording, but
Okay,
we're not
gotcha.
live.
I think the only other thing, MSAC happened this past. I was out of town, but I talked to Wayne, among other things, about MSAC. There wasn't anything pressing, like bureau wise and physician commission wise, so I didn't tune into that remotely.
Okay, I'm supposed to find out what equipment you may need. If you could get me a list, Georgia has some grants from Region 4. She said there's a new grant out for first responders
Mm-hmm.
that quite a bit of money is in, And so she would like the wish list from our first responders.
Okay.
So I need that.
Deal.
Amy and I were talking about several things the other day.
And then I will get it to Georgia and she will shoot us the right application to get started.
Perfect. Be ambulance equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the grant's for, is for equipment. So
Is it a meet? Like
match?
the matching one, or is it a full grant?
this one, she led me to believe it was very low match. So
Because I went, well, I'll get you the list and what things cost and yeah.
it's coming out of some of this state ARPA dollars, I think. So.
Okay. Yeah, as long as we don't run into the same thing like the bureau thing we talked about last time, right? I could put in for lots
Yeah,
of things,
50-50.
but
The
well,
ARPA dollars there's hardly any matching
Yeah.
from what I understand at
Then-
all. Most of it is not.
Yeah, so
I'm very
definitely give me a list on that, okay?
I'll probably have Jimmy email you a list.
Yeah, and then I can get with Georgia, and then she can send us the appropriate
Okay.
forms, and we'll go after
Do you need prices of the things or just what we're thinking?
estimates.
Okay.
You know, I don't need exact price, but I need an estimate.
I'll probably have Jimmy email you then.
Okay.
And
You know, just give me a rough estimate.
Yeah.
We can always pull bids later.
Okay.
Once we do the application. Okay. Anything else exciting?
I don't know if it's exciting, and I'm hesitant to tell you because it sounds like I'm blowing my own horn. But I'm attending my first official Idaho Rural Health Association meeting this weekend.
Oh, nice.
I was elected to the board. Me and Dr. Davis. Of course, Dr. Davis is the next president of it.
Oh, good.
So I'm sort of looking forward to that. I know a couple, 3 people on there anyway, but I'm sort of looking forward to that to kind of see. I know what they do, but I don't know what they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've had dealings with them when I was at the bureau and all this. So,
Mhm.
and since I'm the director of a rural EMS service, I'm keenly aware of and interested in what they're doing. And
Is this like a state? Very good, Mark.
yeah, it's a thing. They're sort of influential in lobbying things and talking to legislators, and
We like to have you on a board like that.
that's why
The networking at those things is
Yeah.
essential.
Yeah.
And to let them know what.
it's in
Funding rule doesn't get.
right,
Yeah.
right. Well, and Dr. Davis, like I said, is on there, and I know one of the other folks pretty well, and they had an open call, and I'm like, is that something I could? I went to talk to them about chems when we first started.
Yeah.
And I said, is this, am I, how, who do you have to be to, she's like, you should definitely, we'd love to have you.
You know, Blue Cross of Idaho has got some grants right now for community projects. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I had that pulled up.
They've got a really good grant for doing community projects. I wonder if you should put in for that. It kind of could replace GIMS.
You got,
Can you shoot that
Info?
to Mark?
Yeah, I have one. Let's see.
And they're really good to work with.
yeah,
Blue Cross of Idaho. They're looking for all kinds of healthy.
ARPA? What did that ARPA one? Community
If you don't find it, I'll find it later. But the other one is
Got it right
is
here.
Deanna still around?
yeah,
She'll be back shortly.
She'll be back
They're
shortly.
in Arizona right now.
Right, I knew they were. Only because there's a really nice little ARPA grant too for seniors and stuff.
are you
That
calling Deanna a senior?
no, I'm
Oh.
calling Deanna an instructor for an exercise class in Richfield because they love it so much in Shoshone. What if you could get one of the Richfield people who isn't having to go work full time? That's why I thought of Deanna.
Mm-hmm.
They could go play on Mondays and Thursdays before lunch in Richfield and do a little exercise class because they love it. And some of those people don't go to Shoshone. They just only go to the Richfield.
What did it,
I don't see
are
why.
you?
And if I got you a little grant to pay somebody to go do that, wouldn't that be cool?
It would be cool.
Mark,
Let's
what's your
get together.
email address?
LCAD.
Oh, that's right. LCAD. I
Let's get
knew
together
I
on that one
had
because
it.
it's an easy application, quick turnaround.
Mhm.
They're small micro grants. And so you'll have to kind of give me an idea of
What's yours, Sandy?
pay for a year.
Your
Yeah.
email.
FIRESAD.
Yeah.
You know, if it's just a 1 hour thing twice a week, it would be
39.
fairly low cost for a whole year,
Is
I'm
it?
thinking.
firesand39@gmail.com.
Firesand39 at what?
gmail.com.
Gmail.com.
Well, and
Yeah, for, I
Nugget,
mean, to me,
Nugget sent me a text 3, 4, 5, 6 days ago, I don't know,
Too, actually.
about a grant writing class down at CWI.
it's a good one.
She said, I'd like to take it, and it's $60. I said, then go take it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's the night she wasn't able to make it because that's the night that Ellery's grandpa
Oh,
passed.
They have a really good one at CSI too.
I heard Chad was going to it though,
I don't know.
on his own.
If that
Okay,
isn't-
so just to give you an idea, if you paid somebody $15 an hour and they did 104 1 hour, which would be twice a week all year, exercise classes, that's only $1,560. Now, I don't know what equipment they'd need, but bump that another 1,000 for rubber bands and balls or whatever. I don't know
Well,
what.
if we do the Fit and Fall, Public Health provides the equipment we're using here. They might be willing to.
See, I bet this is a shoe-in for the ARPA grant.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not ARPA, AARP.
I just sent that to him.
Yeah, and it's so easy, quick turnaround, easy, nice to work with people. And then you could pay one of your staff to do it in Richfield where some people are not getting up to Shoshone.
I mean,
Be good PR too.
yeah. If the need is that bad, I'm not saying it's not. If the need is that bad, then we should look at doing that anyway.
I'm just thinking if you can get it paid for, that's even better.
Well, yeah, but if not, you know what I mean.
Mhm. But I know one of the little old ladies who loves it and who could spearhead a group to be there.
Yeah.
I know her real well.
Yeah.
And she thought it was going to be lame at first because she was like,
Yeah.
she's in such great shape. She was just like, work out with chairs, and everything. Well, it wasn't very long before she was singing an entirely different praise and saying, you can't believe how much better I feel walking. This is just ridiculous. And she was telling everybody how great it
It's
was.
an excellent class.
Oh, yeah. And then one lady who was not walking is now walking unassisted.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes. Don't get me wrong. I'll take grant money any day of the week as long as there's not too many strings attached to it.
This is
Because
easy.
I've learned my lesson with strings attached to grant. That is not that's not that much money. And if we needed to do something like that, if the folks in Richfield would do that and need that, we can do that.
let me ask the board.
Okay.
I know the board members. Hold on.
Yeah. I don't want to poo-poo it. That's in the grand scheme of our budget, that's nothing. And I'll segue that into kind of a story, if you will. That I ran numbers because I was curious about last year's call volume.
Yeah.
681 calls.
681 calls.
Which was up from the year before by quite a little bit. 509 the year before. We transported, and don't quote me on this one, 286, something like that, which is about what we transport. Okay? So, lots of ways to look at that, right? We're running more calls but transporting the same, therefore income and revenue is fairly static. I choose to look at the sunnier side of that. Of 681 times we were asked for help and we responded. Didn't transport everybody, but we responded, even if that's to the county line to help Gooding County,
It
whatever.
was 490 the year before. So,
So my point there is one, obviously we're available for the community. If we can do things like that as well, it's not my money, it's the county's money. And if people in the county want a class like that we have people that can go do that for $1,500 a year, grant or not, then let's talk about that. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it. And you again tell me my opinion, but that's what we're here to do.
Okay.
We don't run that many 911 more, but we're not running 911 calls all the time. So
no, it's
how can
1.8 a day.
Yes. So how can we help. You know what I mean?
Have,
So-
Okay, let's get together on that.
have your kids been through CPR classes yet? The older ones.
They haven't. I need to get them through.
Deanna is certified now to teach it, so that would be another option for you to.
I was
As
going to
part of
talk
this
to her
little
about that
medical
as a
thing
matter of
you're doing.
fact because she taught our AmeriCorps kids. Did a great job, and as part of getting the AmeriCorps, there's always a few things they ask you to do. What can you do for us to help us, you know? And so one of the things we volunteered to do was get them their CPR because they were rushed down there this year and didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
And she did a great job. So she did a couple of our staff members plus a few of the AmeriCorps kids that hadn't got theirs yet, and did a great job. They loved her.
Perfect.
Yeah, it worked out so great because she was right there, and we used the youth center, and she whipped it out over two nights, and it was wonderful.
Excellent.
So yeah, that would be a great segue from your
They did the little basic,
deal
thing.
into who wants
And
to do
now
CPR
we're gonna-
first aid,
add this onto it as your final thing.
and it wasn't that expensive. It really wasn't. So
That's a good investment.
it was a good
You teach
investment.
somebody
Plus,
how to do
Plus, she
CPR,
was
you
very
know.
reasonable because she was just like, I'm here for community service. So
Are there other things in the county like that are typical of our county, like snake bites or dog bites or something like that, that the kids could
No,
learn from?
not particularly. Not particularly.
probably more drownings than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even
I was
that's
gonna say
not.
our snake population has drastically dropped. I don't know why.
I haven't seen a snake bite in a long time.
Little minor injuries, are
Yeah.
common. That's what we'll focus on is how to
Four-wheeler,
you know,
motorcycle.
and
Yeah,
of course,
Exactly.
how to stop bleeding and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, what they would encounter probably most often would be, the minor trauma or if it's major, how to stop the bleeding and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then for the little kids, how to call 911, how to,
Come on
when to
in,
do
have a
all that
seat.
kind of stuff. So.
Back here.
Yep.
Just back here.
Over here.
We've run out of our time, haven't we?
No.
Have we used all of our time?
No, you got 10 minutes.
Really?
We gave you a whole hour. It wasn't 30 and out today.
That's odd.
Well, it's because we had a 2 o'clock P&Z,
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
and that doesn't change. So,
Gotcha.
okay. Thanks, guys. Anything else?
Nope, not for me unless you guys have anything.
I think Quarters is doing okay on most of our stuff. We haven't developed I don't think any new leaks. We thought we might have had one a while back. And they're still leaking in the breezeway
Oh,
because it's never been
talk to-
sealed.
talk to Sandy, my Sandy,
Mhm.
to see if George has had time
Yeah.
to look at that.
Yeah.
I will.
Because honestly, I think I dropped the ball on that one.
Okay.
So if you talk to Sandy, she doesn't drop balls.
Okay.
No, she gets things done.
She just does it
Yes.
immediately so she doesn't forget. So,
Yes.
like me, that's why I'm like, I have to call right now while I'm remembering.
That's me. These grant things, call me.
Yeah.
Either both or whatever, and like when you have time, we'll.
I got you.
Yeah, one of them, the AARP said, down at the bottom, it says other community improvements including health services, community development, and coronavirus pandemic recovery.
They're super fun, and they're really anxious to do some little projects around. So let's
Is
do
that
that
the one
one for
Karma
sure.
said is really pretty easy
Yeah.
to get?
Yeah, we just we'll have we
They're
need
little
to
mini
strategize
fast
of like what's our
turnaround.
goal, what's our this, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
they
I
let you know in
forwarded-
30
I
days.
forwarded them to you and Sandy, so.
Okay. Okay. Thanks,
Awesome.
guys. If we're done, I'm going to take us out of Lincoln County Ambulance
I'm
District.
done. You done?
All right, I'm
You
done.
We're done.
Okay.
See you guys.
I'll be back.
By the way, Kaylee is still doing the cancer. I didn't take that back.
Right.
Kaylee's still doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No worries.
All right.
Thanks.
No, it's Thursday. All right, I have just taken us out of Lincoln County Ambulance District. I'm going to take us back into the regular meeting of Lincoln County Commissioners for a few minutes as our next meeting doesn't start until 2. So we've got a few minutes. How's the dog shelter going, Joanne?
Good as far as I know.
Look like you're about halfway there.
Oh yeah.
On
Yeah,
the funds?
As far as that, we hired a general contractor, local general contractor, to do just the shell. So
Nice.
Sheriff was following up with that. I think he was gonna look into the permit. I think we need to pull an ag permit.
Yeah, now permit.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're getting there. It's getting actually pretty exciting.
Cool. Okay.
That close.
Near Park, we have a meeting this week with the guy who's going to start dirt work as the snow piles off there enough to get in. So he's going to look at it this week to start that project. He's going to be ready to jump on the minute that it's able to get equipment in there, which is going to be a little while, but he wanted to see where to
Next
go.
time you do a walkthrough, give me a holler.
Okay. And I'm supposed to look into ordering the potty, so.
You need somebody to help you on research, see if Sandy's got time.
Okay, and then let's see, the addition of the care center, we're just waiting on the engineer to reach out to some contractors. Should be shortly to get some bids on that little project. Broadband, we've got a community meeting on that the 23rd from 5 to 7. That will be at the Chamber of Commerce's job fair. They will have a booth, sign-ups, information, everything available. In the meantime, if you want to talk to them personally, they are super nice. Just get on etsfast.com, fill out a little form, and they will call you and answer all your questions. They will send people to your house to make sure that you can get at least 50 by 50. Most people are getting 100 by 100, but they will make sure that they won't hook you up unless you get less than 50, at least 50 by 50. They won't even hook you up.
Okay.
So they will come and do an assessment first to make sure you're good and then go. So they're super nice. So you can come to the open house, you can get on the internet, but it is ready to go, hook people up. Youth Center is going great guns. Today, of course, is Valentine's Day projects and parties, which will be fun. We have an Olympics theme this month at the Youth Center, so they're doing all kinds of stuff on the flags of the world and different countries and humanities and cultural stuff, and then, of course, lots of active games on Olympians, So that's what's going on right now. ARPA funds, we're about there and starting to roll out ideas and opportunities there. Electric car charging, we're just waiting to hear. Just waiting. ADA parking is going to have to wait till spring because we're a little snow and icy right now.
So are we just gonna plan on just repainting?
Repainting or painting over or whatever we decide is easiest
So-
on that.
I'm hoping that we can look at some repair before we paint.
We got the parking lot?
The big potholes.
So right now, it's kind of a danger if someone that parks in that ADA spot, there is a crack and it's been lowered, and so that fills with water and then it freezes and it's right next to their parking, so we probably should,
Yeah, as soon as it thaws, we better address that a little
yeah,
bit.
before we repaint. I just
Okay.
wanted to throw that out there.
Okay, that's on the old business list. Any other old business, Commissioner Rutler? Let me look at mine too. We have BOE training. Do you have that? Did you sign up?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I did. April 26th is the Empty Bowls fundraiser. So far we have a rifle, a pistol, a mattress, and I think a freezer full of meat. A nice trip. I don't know where the trip's gonna go. So we've got a lot of nice door prizes. I've approached 2 restaurants that'll donate, and Bazzuto's is going to donate. So getting a little bit more community activity on that. I needed to go down to the cities and talk about what they're calling the LIWAP program, which is the Low Income Home Water Assistance Program. None of our cities are signed up for that, and it's assistance for people that might have problems.
Tell me the name of it again.
It is called LIWAP, LIHWAP, Low Income Home Water Assistance Program.
Okay.
There are like 6 pages in the board manual of just acronyms.
But the cities need to sign up.
They need to sign up for that. So if there's anybody in our communities that needs help with their water, paying their water or any of that,
Okay.
yeah. So I will be
We
working
need to
on
look
that
and see
too.
what the criteria is, whether how
Yeah.
easy it is to sign up.
If you're on WIC or SNAP or some type of a government assistance, it's pretty
So
much
it's
a
similar
shame.
to the FCC affordability program for
Mhm.
broadband, which, by the way, if you're on WIC or SNAP or your kids get free and reduced lunch, a whole bunch of other ways, you get veterans, you get
Yeah.
disability, you can get $30 off a month of your broadband. You have to apply first and then tell, like if you call to hook up to ETS,